Hey, what's going on guys? Dan here, and today I'm going to be bringing you my first tutorial on this channel. And what I'll be talking about is how to make, how to not make, but how to customize this nice border that goes around your modules. And the template to this is in the description, so you don't need to spend your time making this kind of border thing, because it does take quite a bit of time to make it. So first what you want to do is select the layer, the border layer, and click on blending options. And for blending options, the main color that I'm going to be choosing is kind of like a blue. But what I want to do is kind of give it like a bluish kind of grayish color. The reason being is because later on, we'll be adding this nice grungy kind of metal texture to it. So I'll probably brighten it up just a bit. Maybe just choose a different kind of tone, so that doesn't look too bad, like that. And we'll start off with the inner shadow. Put the distance to 0, and blend mode to normal. And for inner shadow, you want to choose the color that you're kind of going with, just a bit lighter. So I'm going to blue, so I'm going to choose this nice light blue color. And you could increase your opacity all the way up. It's really personal preference. But what I may do is just put the choke up and just decrease the size to about 1 pixel. So you kind of get this nice blue lining inside the border. And this will really look nice when we add the bevel and emboss. And click on outer glow. And you want to put the blend mode to normal, and you want to just choose a black. And usually when I choose a black outer glow, I just like to increase opacity all the way up and just increase the spread and the size, whatever looks best. So you can just play around with the settings when you're working on this. You know what? I'm going to decrease the opacity because it looks disgusting. Even though I just said I like to put it up to 100. But anyways, after done that, we're just gonna skip inner glow for a second and work on bevel and emboss. So I'm gonna zoom in just so you can get more of the detail. So click on bevel and emboss, and this is really the most important part. So what you want to do is on style, select emboss, leave the technique to smooth. You could play around with it. You could put it on either chisel hard or chisel soft, but I'm gonna keep it smooth for now. And for the size, you wanna increase it just a bit. You don't want to make it too big because it looks disgusting when it's too big, and too small it can't be really noticed. So I'm gonna stick with 9 because that looks not too bad. And leave the angle at 90. Leave all the settings the way they are, and maybe just change up the gloss contour. So you can always just play around with these, whichever one looks the best for you. I'm gonna tell you my personal preference. I'm just gonna see which one I think looks the best. And for now, I think I'm gonna choose what's it called, ring double. Yeah, I'm gonna choose this one. And I don't really like how there's too much white on it, so I'm just gonna decrease the opacity, maybe just a bit, so just a little bit less visible. And when you're done with the bevel and emboss, you want to tick off contour, and of course you can just play around the settings again, whichever one you think looks the best. So as you can see, most of them do look pretty well, or pretty good. So, but I think I like this one the best right now. Kind of matches the color and it looks really, really nice, as you can see. And add an inner glow. Leave it at white. And I think you should leave the opacity the way it is. It's really your choice again. And increase the choke just so it's a bit more visible. And play around this, the size, and I forgot to add something. On blend mode, put it on overlay. So it kind of gives you more of a highlight. So that's not too bad. And if we zoom out now, click OK. If we zoom out now, as you can see, that's not looking too bad. I actually may change up the inner glow because I don't like the white highlight to be that noticeable. So yeah, that's pretty good. And as you can see, it really is shaping up to be a pretty nice border. And so after we're done with the blending options, what you want to do is add the texture. And I'll show you an example of how actually for the texture, I'll be using a grunge kind of metal texture. I'm just looking for the textures. So grunge kind of metal. If you don't have this texture, what you can easily do is just search up grunge on Google Images. You'll for sure find one. And just, you know, put it over your border. And I actually really like this grunge metal texture. I think it looks really nice. So after you put it on, just make sure the grunge metal is over top of your border layer. Select the border layer by holding Control and clicking on the square. And click Control-Shift-I to invert the selection. And select the grunge metal texture, or whatever texture you'll be using, and click Delete. So you have that selected. So now on the grunge metal layer, on the layer, or the thing, just drop down, I forgot what it's called, oh my god. Whatever, on this, just put it on overlay. And as you can see, you kind of get this, it's really dark around here. So I really don't like that. So what I'm going to do is just going to go on brightness and contrast and increase the brightness. Maybe not to the max, but where it's, you know, a bit more visible. Maybe around 73. But anyways, oof, not 73. Maybe just a bit up. But you know, if you're pretty satisfied with the color of your, or with the tone of your thing, you don't really need to change this. So I'm just doing this just so it looks a bit more better. And just make an adjustment layer by holding Alt and kind of clicking in between the two layers just to make an adjustment layer. And oh my god, it's lagging. And what an adjustment layer does, if you don't know, is it'll only affect that layer that you're pretty much choosing. And I think that's about it with the borders. So as you can see, the outcome looks really nice. Has a really nice grunge kind of feeling. And right now, I have two kind of like examples of how it really looks like when you add more effects to it. So first, I'm gonna select the one I did for my personal background, if I can find it, right here. So as you can see, I added these nice cables on the side. I didn't make them, so I'm not going to do a tutorial on them if you're wondering. But and also I added this kind of like inner shadow kind of vents, I guess you can call them. It just gives the border a bit more depth. And I'm probably going to change that text so it looks really bad. And then another example is I did BG for DEYYYAANGFX. And as you can see, even with red, it looks pretty nice, except this is just pure black. Not pure black, but it's kind of like a grayish color, not a red, grayish color. And you could add, like, you know, plasma streaks on the borders, on the sides, I guess. And you can add these nice little strings. And let me check how much time we have. So, yeah, I think that's about it. And yeah, so I guess give this video a rating, what you feel it deserves, and please tell me how I did on my first tutorial. Was it good? Was it bad? Give me some constructive criticism. Please no, mean comments. I'm trying to help you out, so but by all means, give me some constructive criticism on this tutorial, and I think that's about it. And once again, if I didn't mention, I don't know if I did, the template for this background is in the description. Sorry if I didn't mention in the beginning of the video, but that's about it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.